African Police Service is looking for 10,000 young people between the ages of 18 and 35 to join the force. And for the first time, SAPS has raised its age limit to 35 years old. To tell us more about this drive and how people can apply, I'm now joined by Brigadier Athlenda Mathe, the SAPS national spokesperson. Brigadier, pleasure to have you on the program this afternoon. Now, with the age limit for recruitment being raised to 35, what were some of the key considerations and factors that led SAPS to make this decision? And how do you expect this change to indeed impact the recruitment process and the overall performance of the police force?
Well, a very good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity. You will recall that the age limit was previously between 18 and 30. We have now raised the age limit, seeing that the South African Youth Commission Act defines a youth to be between the ages of 18 and 34. So obviously we have already embarked on this particular process, which commenced yesterday. Yesterday we held a national career expo where we gave these youth the platform for us to educate them, to create awareness, but most importantly, to expose them to the various careers within the SAPS. Now, we also know that most of our communities think the only mandate of the SAPS is to prevent, combat, and investigate crime. They do not know that there are accountants in the police, there are IT experts, there are lawyers, there are advocates, and there are forensic science lab technicians. So, in a nutshell, we also employ and target graduates from universities with the various degrees that they may be holding.
Now, the recruitment process aims to train an additional 10,000 youth to serve as police officers. Can you elaborate a bit further on specific strategies or programs that will indeed be implemented to ensure the successful training as well as the development of such a large number of recruits?
So absolutely, this is part of the measures that we're putting in place to ensure that we increase our capacity on the ground, to ensure that we capacitate our police stations so that we can reach more communities and improve and enhance our response to the emerging crime trends. So yes, we have embarked on this particular process. You will recall that last year we recruited and trained 10,000 police officers. They have already been deployed to the various stations across the country. They've already been deployed to the various units within the SAPS. And now, as we speak, we currently have 9,000 recruits that are currently undergoing training. 1,000 of them will join in January 2024. And I can confirm to you that these 10,000 that will now be recruited for this year will also commence training next year, April 2024. And the whole purpose for this and the whole focus is to ensure that there's more boots on the ground so that we can enhance our crime combating techniques.
Now, as the focus is on getting more boots on the ground to combat crime, like you say, how do you plan to address concerns about the quality of training as well as the preparedness of the new recruits to handle these complexities and challenges of law enforcement?
So we are quite confident with our training program because we have produced hundreds and thousands of police officers that on a daily basis arrest and apprehend wanted suspects. They ensure that they prevent and combat crime and also investigate to ensure that we ensure lengthy convictions before court. So we are quite confident with our training program because it has produced thousands of police officers that do a lot of great work in serving and protecting the people of this country. So yes, if I can just give you a brief background on what this process and training will entail. Before the actual training, the applicants will undergo a number of phases. The first one is to ensure that they undergo the psychometric test. They will also then, after passing the psychometric and visual test, they will then undergo the fitness and physical assessment to ensure that they're physically fit and to arrest criminals and to chase after criminals. They will then proceed to the medicals, where they will be assessed medically to ensure that they're medically fit to serve as men and women in blue. So So in terms of our training, we look at training them on a number of issues, on a number of programs. Some of them are on legal principles and also on crime prevention holistically. So those are some of the issues that we will be looking into in terms of that play a major role in ensuring that we have fit, disciplined and upright police officers to serve our community.
Now, in the same breath, and also considering the high demand for recruitment, what measures are being taken to ensure a fair and transparent selection process, and how will the police force maintain its standards of integrity as well as professional conduct during the recruitment drive?
Okay. So the measures that we have put in place as the South African Police Service makes it difficult for any corruption to thrive in that space of recruitment, because each recruitment phase or step is managed by different divisions within the SAPS. So that's part of the measure to ensure that we do not have corruption that thrives within this process. We do have confidence in this process that it's free from bias, nepotism, and corruption. And like I've indicated, we have produced thousands of police officers in the past. So we also have a board at national level that actually oversees this process to ensure that it's fair and free from corruption. We also have an anti-corruption unit that is there, that is within the South African Police Service that has been established to identify all forms of corruption within the South African Police Service.
But how do you plan to engage with the potential recruits and also educate them about the importance of public service and the role of police officers in serving and indeed protecting their communities?
So you would have seen that yesterday we were in Mdantsane, where we held a National Career Expo Day, where we showcased and exhibited to the community, to the youth in the area on the various careers that are there within the SAPS. So we plan to take this particular career expo to other parts of the country, so that the youth of this country, the graduates of this country, the youth between the ages of 18 and 35 can get an idea of what the SAPS is all about, what is our mandate, and the various career paths that exist within the service. So we are quite excited that we are embarking on this particular program and process, and we are hoping that we will get the disciplined, passionate candidates that are ready to serve and protect their communities.
Brigadier Mathe, in recent years there's been increased attention on police-community relations. How will SAPS then ensure that these new recruits are trained to indeed build this trust or promote community engagement and also address the unique needs and challenges of the communities that they serve?
So we are constantly meeting with our community policing forum structures across the country to improve and enhance our working relations with the communities. We continue to host our crime individuals throughout the country in communities to get a sense of where we can improve as a service. So we create a platform for community members to engage with us, to tell us where we can improve as the SAPS. We also have an inspectorate division that is responsible for complaints against the police. So what we do as management, we look into those complaints, we address them, we see how best to address them, and we ensure that we are constantly monitoring our service to communities. We also encourage our communities out there to join their local policing structures. They can get the information at their local police stations on how to join the community policing forum structures, because we always encourage and always tell communities that it is not the sole responsibility of the SAPS to fight crime. Communities play a major role in assisting us to fight crime, in sharing information tirelessly to us, so that we continue to prevent and combat criminality in all its forms in our community.
As we wrap up, Brigadier Mathe, and given the evolving nature of crime and emerging crime trends, how does SAPS then plan to equip the new recruits with these necessary skills? You touched a bit about it a bit earlier on, and the knowledge to stay ahead of criminals and effectively combat crime in a rapidly changing environment.
So we are constantly looking at our training programs and seeing how best we can enhance this particular training program. But you will also recall that we are also acquiring the latest in technology to assist our police officers to fight crime better through the use of technology. You will recall that last month we introduced the first batch of drones that were acquired by the SAPS, that we do believe that they will enhance our crime combating initiatives throughout the country. So also in that particular program, we also saw the first 13 police officers that were trained as drone pilots, so that they can be able to assist us to fight crime better in our community. So we are looking at technology, we are looking at benchmarking, we are continuously benchmarking with other countries to see how best as well we can learn from each other to ensure that we improve and enhance our response time to communities and enhance our crime combating initiatives.
That's the National Police spokesperson, Brigadier Athlenda Mathe, just taking us through the recruitment of some 10,000 new recruits for the men and women in blue.